Hi guys, what to do? Today we are at the hospital. We are getting the results of our genetic testing. I want to show you guys something before I go in. Check out how parking lots work here. See these like red lights and green lights, and then like they're all red down there. It's a really cool way of when you're driving around a busy parking lot, it tells you that a spot's available. If it's green, it's available. Take note, US, it's awesome. So for my first epic fail, I went to use the stairs instead of the elevator in the car parking lot, and this guy said, it is alarm. I almost set up an alarm in the car park. Good start. So I've just gotten all my information, these stickers, you take them down and put them in the door, and then they see that you're here. I'm just waiting on Andy to arrive. Excited about this appointment because I'm thinking they're gonna have the results of our genetic testing, and they're gonna put us in front of like a doctor and not just like a nurse practitioner, which they're absolutely incredible. They've taken all my blood and everything, but I need like a doctor to answer some questions. And I just want to talk about next steps. Like, could we do IVF? Even though we can get pregnant, just can't hold it. Is that like an option? Just kind of try to get some answers so we decide if like the adoption is the next right step for us or if we should keep trying. It's like this weird time. I'm hopeful. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they have to say. So for now, I'm just waiting on my husband who's late. No, he's not late. I'm early.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
It's just your normal Swiss stuff, isn't it? It's just beautiful and great to be out with the family, no electronics, as I tape this on my phone. The only way down is the chairlift.
This is fun.
Do you love it? So much fun. Andy, do you love it?
Ow, poo poo.
Oh, it's gonna go a little rumbly over this, watch. Are you okay?
You is so awesome, and my hair is gonna do a little bumpity bump.
Check out my robe. You're getting like, oh, this is just me in my 5-star luxury hotel robe realness. I'm not in a hotel. This robe is covered with stains, and I'm in my house. So Andy and I had our appointment on Friday at the recurring miscarriage clinic, and basically we found out that through the genetic testing, through my uterus procedure and all the blood that they've taken from me, specifically the genetic testing, because that's the most recent thing, there's nothing. They can't find anything. Nothing wrong with Andy, nothing wrong with me, no mutations or weird stuff going on. So what now? She went into this long description of this super invasive procedure we could have done. And kind of as she got about half or 3/4 of the way through it, my husband and I were like, this sounds like IVF. And this is the whole thing with living in a different country. They don't call it IVF over here. It's got a German name. So she got done explaining that to us. And I said to her, I was like, oh, do you think, is IVF something we could look into? And she kind of paused. And Andy was like, I think that was IVF that she just explained. I was like, oh. And she's like, yeah, that's IVF. She explained that we could do that. And then she said, another option is, and then we said, well, what about adoption? Do we get information about that here? Kind of to capitalize on all the information I already have to get just more information. And she's adopted herself. So she just had a wealth of information. She gave that to us. That was a bit emotional for me, for the same reason that I talked about on my last video that I made. I'll put a link to it if you haven't seen it. It just brings a lot of stuff up. And we left. And that was it. And as we were walking down the hall, Andy was like, what do you think? And I was like, I can't process what's going on. Like, I just need to get in the car and drive a little bit to figure out what's going on. And we got in the car and I was like, you know, the biggest thing is I can't believe we're here. I can't believe this is what we're faced with now. I just kind of always thought one's gonna stick. I'm gonna have a few miscarriages. I kind of compartmentalized each one and dealt with each one separately, and the weight of all of them kind of hit me when we were driving. And I think I've said that in a video before, like, is this gonna come crashing down on me at some point? And it kind of did on the drive home. IVF was something I always heard about for people who couldn't get pregnant at all, or people who had no children and that was kind of a last option for them. It's just never something I thought we'd be considering. So we talked about it, talked about the procedure itself, talked about like the pros and cons of adoption, which I talked about in my other video. And the thing with the woman the doctor who spoke to us was she was done having children when she adopted. And that's kind of where Andy and I hit a bit of a wall with adoption. We're like, we don't feel like we're done having children. And I never thought I would be this person. I can't even believe I am, because years ago I would always say, well, if I can't have a baby, I'll just adopt and that's it. But then I realized once it's staring me in the face, like, it's not that black and white. So we talked and we said, like, we're gonna sleep on it. But today we are starting our research into how we get ready for IVF. Buckle up, kids, because this channel's going in a whole different direction. We'll get there. I mean, I'm talking like giving myself injections. I'm talking like in Switzerland getting put full under. Good night, Eileen. Good night. Go to sleep while they do all the stuff they need to do to make this baby happen. So it is Monday and we have emailed the doctor to tell them that we are in it to win it with IVF. Let's do this. Woohoo! Stab into my ovaries, get those eggs. And she has told me that we will get the ball rolling once I start my next cycle. The thing that sucks is I just started a cycle a few days ago. And she's like, no, we gotta wait till your next cycle. So now we have to wait till October 22nd, which happens to be my birthday. In the meantime, I am focusing on turning these potatoes on for my son because I'm cooking him dinner, and they ain't gonna cook themselves if you don't turn the heat on, Eileen. Focusing on my diet, I'm trying to eat much more healthy. I've been watching some videos about like pre-IVF prep diets with like loads of water, loads of spinach, loads of vegetables, very plant-based stuff. And I'm gonna try to start doing that. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to cut out wine and cut out cheese and cut out chocolate and cheese and chocolate and bread and chocolate and cheese. But there's bigger things at stake, so I will do that. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. You wanna ride this IVF roller coaster with us? Come on, Patty. Only a few of you will get that, very funny. Patti LaBelle, pumpkin pies. I'm gonna link a video below. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. If you're on Instagram, head on over, follow me there. Eileen Vincett, post stories all the time. Crazy stuff. There's much more Patrick over there. Him screaming and being silly Billy. And that's it for today, guys. Have a great evening, day, wherever you are. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.